Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, I am here with cosmetologist Liliana, and we're going to be talking about hair and photography and how the two sort of pair with one another. So, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, everybody.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into cosmetology.
Well, I really started when I was a little girl, and it's funny that I didn't realize that I loved doing hair until I was older. But as a kid, I was cutting my doll's hair, or I would take markers and paint rainbow hair on my Barbies. And I was always in trouble because I would try and give my Barbie doll a bob, and fake hair doesn't work that way. It's not real hair, so it would just stick out like Beetlejuice all over its head.
Oh, geez.
But I think it was more in high school. I would do my own hair for prom. I'd go get it done, and then I'd come home and take it all apart, and my mom would be so upset with me that she spent all this money, but I've always loved doing hair. So eventually I went to school and got my license.
Wow, that's really awesome. And about how long does that schooling take? I mean, for most people who might be interested in becoming a cosmetologist themselves.
Yeah, I would say at least a year. For us, we go by hours. So
Oh,
you
okay.
typically go to school 40 hours a week, or sometimes now they have part-time that you could go 20 hours a week, and then you take your state board to get your license.
Okay. So, I mean, just being a total fan ever since you were a little kid and doing your own hair for proms and school dances and things like that. What was it that um, brought you to pursue doing weddings? Because I've seen your profile on Instagram. I'll include the links in the show notes in the description below. But what brought you to do things like weddings? And I know you've done photo shoots and worked with models.
I I got my license about 11 years ago, and I started in a salon. I did the whole assisting, and I did booth rent, and I did that for a couple years, and I loved it. And I love having clients. I still have some clients now. Um, but doing weddings or doing photo shoots, it was just me being able to be more creative, having a little bit more freedom to do things, to create things, to just be a part of something that's either memorable for a maternity shoot or a wedding that
Hmm.
these people are going to look at for the rest of their lives. And I feel like it's kind of special that I was included in that and I could help make it fun or happy or less stressful, or just making somebody feel beautiful there's a good feeling about it.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. And it's the same with photography, being able to
Right,
capture those moments for them, uh,
right.
be it a wedding or a maternity shoot or any type of gathering. They keep
Yeah,
these photos forever. It's not just your run of the mill cell phone pictures that guests may capture, but it's
right.
something that you're providing for them.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, and I think you probably understand this. I feel it kind of comes from our heart. It's also special to us because it's a creative process for us. So it's also somebody loving our work and our artistic freedom that we have. And we're able to spread that to them, and having somebody else love it kind of makes you feel good about yourself
Oh yeah,
on top of
definitely.
it. Yeah.
And so when working with brides, for example, do they sort of give you a general idea or kind of the gist? I know that when wedding couples approach me, they give me a general idea of the kind of photos that they want, but ultimately it's they've seen my work and they just
Right.
know this is what I'm going to capture. This is typically what I can provide for them.
Yes, usually I'll do consultations and then I do bridal trials, but I tell brides, show me pictures. Show me pictures of hairstyles you love or hairstyles you hate, or break a picture down and tell me which pieces you love of it and which pieces you don't love. And then I just like to do a trial with them to get a run, to get a feeling of what they like, what they don't like. And sometimes you can look at a picture and say, I love that hairstyle, but for your own hair or your hair length or hair type or maybe
Hmm.
the dress you're wearing, it doesn't go well. So I also try and do a few different experiments of, okay, at least bring me a couple different pictures and we'll try a couple different things
Yeah.
just to get a feel before the day of.
And that's interesting that you say that about how their hair might not go with the outfit, or even the
Yeah.
type of hair might not. I don't know if you're trying to say might hold that hairstyle. But I mean, where does that come from? Does that just come from like years of experience, or is that schooling, or?
It definitely comes from experience. I would definitely say trial and error. Schooling just really teaches us the basics of what we're doing and how to pass state board. But yeah, experience of this doesn't work, this does work. You take everything in as a whole. What does the dress look like? If it's a wedding, where's their wedding? Is it outside or inside? Is it on a beach? Could it be windy? You take all these different things into consideration when you're trying to accomplish a whole picture, and then
Mm-hmm.
I just go from there. I when I worked in Hawaii, I had a lot of brides who said, "Oh, where's your wedding? Oh, it's on the beach. I want my hair down." Well, and I'd have to give my opinion. Well, it could be windy and you really don't want your hair in your face for your photographs because that'll be pretty miserable when you get your pictures back and you have strands of hair all across your face. So,
Yeah, we can't edit that
some
as photographers. If your hair is in
no,
your face is just not
exactly.
in the picture.
Right? I try and explain that to them. So, we all have a thought process of what we probably want, but I also try and softly be um, a little forceful if it might not work.
Yeah,
Just giving my opinion, but definitely if somebody wants it all down and it's windy, I have given my disclaimer that
yeah,
the
and
hair will be in their face.
yeah, and a lot of times, I mean, I've experienced that myself with clients where they might want a certain look or a certain feel to their photos, and unfortunately, the photos that they'll provide me with, their wedding is nowhere the same. They provide me
Right.
with like beach photos, but
Right.
we're on the plains or like we're in an open field.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Totally
not even
different.
the same location. So,
Yeah.
or they have like a popular one is where they have the sparklers and the bride and the groom. They want to walk down
Yep.
while everyone's cheering, but the location might not allow
Allow
for
it.
open flame. So
Yeah.
these are
Right.
all things that play a part, and I'm pretty sure every profession when it comes with weddings and the services.
Right. I definitely do a thorough consultation and, have them fill out paperwork just saying all the little details, where's the location, things they're doing.
Hmm.
All those tiny things, they really do affect the hair. Are they wearing a veil? Are they, the new thing is just having hair pieces or having a veil and then switching to a hair piece. And all those little details that nobody thinks of, I have to ask all these questions and it makes a difference.
So then that's something that I'm actually interested in. Then, if a bride wants to start her wedding with a veil and then has a hairpiece later, are you still there? I mean, when is
I
your?
can be.
Oh, you can be. So
I
there's
can
like an in
be.
and out time then for you.
It depends, right? I can be, but I always love to tell them who is the bridesmaid you trust the most,
Hmm.
or in some cases, who will stay the most sober, and I can show them
Oh,
um,
gee.
how to do it. So I definitely will find, and I can pay attention throughout the day, like who's going to be the most responsible here.
Yeah.
You'll see, you find those people, and then I just talk to them and say, hey, I'll show you how to put this in, how to put it out, how to not ruin her hair. And they're usually pretty grateful. I definitely like to send them away with like little extra bobby pins. Nowadays, the girls have pockets,
Yeah.
or maybe she has a little purse to carry. So I'll give them some little bobby pins in case a hair falls out and they can, you know, go and help her out or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so with weddings, is there a follow up with you as the hairstylist or as the professional? I know with photographers, I mean, we're sort of the beginning, the middle, the during, and the end. And then there's also a follow up, like, I hope you enjoyed your photos. Is there something like that that you provide as well, or?
For me, I definitely do. I just like to check in and just let them know, I send them a thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of their day because, like I said, a wedding is so special
Hmm.
that there's millions of us. There's millions of hair, makeup, photographers, venues, the whole nine that they picked us. So I just try and touch base with them a couple months after just to let them know thank you and I appreciate you having me at your wedding and trusting me to make you and all your bridesmaids beautiful. So,
Yeah, that's definitely a good touch
yeah.
to leave a bride with. But I am also curious about your work with modeling, and I know you've done hair for photo shoots. How is that? Like, give me the gist of like how that comes about or how that pans out.
It's fun. I mean, depending on the concept of the photo shoot and what we're doing. I mean, there's as simple as beauty looks, so everything's very clean and
Hmm.
just very elegant. And then I've done some that are just crazy, wacky mohawks and, bright colors and just big, huge hair. That's fun. I've done a couple things for maybe some clothing lines, and so just depending on the lookbook and what it is that season, what's the concept of the hair, and I really love pinup, so any kind of boudoir stuff. Sometimes I work with photographers who do that,
Hmm.
which that is a lot of fun. It's a
Really?
lot of it is because some of them are kind of a little they're out of their element, they're a little out of their box and
Yeah.
you can do fun hairstyles like maybe more retro and pin up that they wouldn't normally do. So I love any kind of period hair, which the glam look is in. So red carpet, a lot of girls on or women on the red carpet, they want that soft wave that kind of, you know, swoops over their eye and is behind their ear on the other side.
Yeah.
So I love that look. That's one of my favorites.
And it's definitely got to be a great way to, I guess, work within a large gamut or a large spectrum of hairstyles from early period to now and to classic Hollywood and stuff like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
then tell me with photo shoots, and you mentioned this with weddings about the environment and the location. How is the importance, or what is the importance of the hair product that you use? Do you typically have like your go-to product line, or depending on the situation, do you know like, oh, well, this other product that I might not have that I can go get might work better?
Yes, I have a huge case and another on-set bag that I carry with me at all times. So I really try and have anything and everything I could need. I have a couple go-to products that I love. I'm really a Paul Mitchell fan
Hmm.
just because they're really true to us as hairstylists and they have millions of products. There's tons out there though that are amazing, but I have some um, styling products that I love for when blow drying, and then I definitely love a heat protectant if I'm using a flat iron or a curling iron to help style the hair a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I have so many products. But yeah, it really depends on the style and the look of what we're doing. I definitely will use my two favorites as a standard, and then it just depends from there where we're going. I'll add or put more, hairsprays and plumping up the hair and making it shine. And so I usually use probably at least 10 different things.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a lot then.
Yeah.
And well, at least with photography, I know that if the makeup, it can be off sometimes if
Yes.
depending on if you're using a flash or not. A lot
Right.
of people don't really take this into consideration, which is why I like to offer engagement sessions before the wedding, and I
Right.
usually tell my brides, you know, have your makeup done the way you would have it done on your wedding, so we'll know how
Right.
it photographs. Is
Yes.
that the same with hair? I mean, does is it affected by flash? Is it affected by Does it act differently in the sun? I mean, when it shows up in the camera, that is.
Definite not as much as makeup because we're not really worried about the color tone, but I notice every little hair. So that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. So I really don't like any hair out of place. I'm sure you guys could probably Photoshop a little strand of hair here or there, but
Yeah,
I uh I
it's
really
time
like their
consuming.
hair
I
to
could
be
tell you
perfect.
that.
Oh, I'm sure. I can't even imagine that. But yeah, any little hair, you can really see it on a camera. So you really got to make sure everything is super clean and all in its place,
Yeah.
which can be challenging at times because, especially right now, everything is that boho, beachy, braided, messy
Hmm.
look. So it's almost like you have to make it look messy without it being messy.
Oh,
Kind of,
jeez.
it's kind of an illusion,
Yeah.
but yeah, because if you just had messy hair, it would look messy on camera. So,
And so when you mention things like stray hairs, that's definitely one of the points I want to hit on for any photographers out there that are listening. Just the importance of looking into or bringing on a hair person, a hair professional to a shoot, because as photographers, we're definitely looking at a lot of things, and hair can sometimes be one of the last things we notice. However, it's the first thing that I notice in when I'm actually sitting down at my computer, because those are the things that I have to then fix. And if I don't have a hair person, well, I could have a lot of photos that need fixing.
right.
So, as a hair person and a hair professional, I should say, when on set or on a photo shoot, how much freedom do you get, or how much freedom do you like to have to step in and fix things?
Every situation is different, but usually once everybody's done getting ready and it's time to shoot, I'm basically standing there ready to jump in at any moment. If I see some hairs out of place or maybe their bangs have kind of fallen into their eyes and they're still shooting, if the cameraman goes to take a pause, I jump in there and I fix it right away, or sometimes I'll kind of lean over and say, "Can I fix that hair?" And they go,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, sure," because you guys are looking at the whole picture as a total, and sometimes that piece of hair it's overlooked. You're not seeing it. But like you said, as soon as you go and sit at your computer, you go, "Oh man, that hair is right in her eye."
yeah,
So, if I see something, I try and step in without causing an issue of maybe their flow of taking pictures to be paused.
yeah, definitely. Because I know that with all the working professions in one place, hairstylist, a makeup artist, and a photographer, it is a symbiotic relationship. However, everybody kind of wants to provide the best of their
Yes.
talents without
Yes.
stepping on anybody else's toes.
Right. Because then you could be there all day because we're all perfectionists.
Yeah.
So,
I know at least at weddings, when I get there and if hair and makeup is being done, I tend to stand way back and just
uh-huh.
try to be out of everybody's way. And as soon as that hair and makeup's done, it's like, well, the bride is mine for a little bit because I need to
Right.
get these pictures.
Right, right. Yeah, and I definitely, when I start, if I'm getting a bride ready and you guys come in for, the getting ready stuff, I usually will talk to you guys and just say, let me know if any moment you want me to just step to the left or the right and you want to take pictures of her actually getting her hair done or her makeup done. So I try and just keep open communication, especially with everybody that is in a process. So the
Yeah.
photographer, or maybe the coordinator, or the bridesmaids, or if I'm on a photo shoot, just all the people that are around. It's it's much easier when you just talk and say, "Hey, just let me know if you want me to move out of the way or I can help hold this or do this." It all just makes everything flow better.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There's only been, I want to say, very few occasions where I've had people that are just sort of, I'm here, I'm doing my thing. Everybody needs to step aside. But other
Yeah.
than that, yeah, other than that, it's like as long as you're communicating with everybody and just trying to be, we're all trying to do the same thing, which is provide the best
Exactly.
service for our clients.
Right. I agree. And it just, like I said, it works so much better when everybody just kind of helps each other out a tad.
I'm curious, have you had any horror stories while out at a wedding or on a shoot and there's been equipment failure? I don't know, scissors or anything like that?
Let me think.
Because I know that one time I was doing a shoot, if I can tell you my little story, I was doing a shoot and this woman, she had a product line that she was going to be putting on her website. And so she had 3 models come out and then me as the photographer. Now this was my
Uh-huh.
first time really working with models and doing a product line shoot. So my
Yeah.
camera was like, I was taking pictures, like a lot of pictures,
Uh-huh.
and my camera buffer like was reached, and it just stopped taking pictures. And
Oh
I tried turning it
no.
off, and I tried letting it sit. And here the clock is ticking. Everybody's
Yeah,
there. They need to
right.
go. They can't wait on me and my camera.
Oh
So
gosh.
I just tried to like do whatever I could. I said, "Oh, the it's rendering something or it's doing this and that." It was like 40 minutes
Oh
until I could
no.
start shooting again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, that's awful. I I had a wedding in Hawaii and I think there were about 12 girls. So it was supposed to be me and another hairstylist, and then there were, I think, 3 makeup girls, because usually makeup takes a little longer.
Hmm.
But the other hair girl got deathly, deathly sick.
Oh
Like
no.
the day before, she got like a flu. So I guess not an equipment failure, but yeah, I lost another girl, and um, I was the only hair girl, and these people were so worried that I couldn't get everything done in time.
Yeah.
And the mom came out and was screaming at me
Oh no.
and you don't know what you're doing and who are you? And because I didn't do the trial or anything, I was
Yeah.
just coming with her and long story short, everything was fine. They were so happy. They thanked me afterwards. But yeah, I was a man down and I had to do about 12 or 13 girls in a couple of hours.
Oh wow.
And it was so stressful. I turned to one of the makeup girls and I said, "Do you know how to curl hair?" And she goes, "Sure, I'll do it." And it was thankfully they just wanted it down and curled and one side pinned. Very simple, but yeah, things like that are yeah, I mean what do you do? You can't do anything but just
I know.
work as fast as you can and promise them that everything will be okay. And it was. But yeah, I felt really bad. The bride was crying
Oh
and
geez.
I just felt so sad, but everything was perfect. And they were like, "You did an amazing job and we love it." And I said, "Thank God." Okay.
Wow. Oh, I mean, definitely a happy ending because I know that weddings, like the pressure's on. And
Yeah.
my very first wedding that I ever photographed, I actually forgot a lens to my
Oh
camera.
my gosh.
It was terrible. It was my go-to lens, the lens I use all the
Right.
time. I already played it out in my mind.
Yep.
The night before, I packed my bag and everything. And the bum thing about it is I was exactly far enough away from my apartment at the time that had I drove back to get the lens, I would have been late for the
Right.
wedding.
Yes.
So it was like, and it was one of those like, oh my gosh moments. Like
Yep.
everything moved in slow motion when I reached my hand in the bag and the lens was not there.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely the night before a wedding, I will think of everything. Do I have that? Do I have this? Did I move that? Is that in my bag? And all through my brain I'm going, "Oh my gosh, I forgot something. I know I did." Even on the way there, I'll go, "Did I forget that?" But
Yeah.
now I've just tried to get like 2 and 3 of everything or something similar that if I forgot one bottle of it, I have something pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Just but brushes and combs, they all do different things. So if
Oh, yeah.
I don't have one brush, kind of makes my job a little bit more difficult if I'm trying to achieve something that I need that brush specifically for.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, the tools of the trade are very important. My wife has
Yeah.
told me time and time again, make a list and make it like check off everything. I've still yet to do it, but she keeps reminding me. Well, eventually, I'll do it. But
Exactly.
so so then to get back on your hairstyling and things like that, I am curious how important having an online presence is as a cosmetologist. I know that starting out as a photographer and probably as a cosmetologist in the beginning, we all tend to start with Facebook first because we all have
Yes.
Facebook profiles. Then we include our Instagram and show photos of our work.
Right.
But how important is it to have a website?
So it's really funny you say that. I've had a website for, I think, 6 years or something around there, and maybe even longer. But now, for us, I feel a lot of hairstylists, we just in general, whether they're in a salon or whatever we're doing, we're able to show our talents through pictures,
Hmm.
and everybody has Instagram.
Yeah,
Everybody loves Instagram. I can go and do meetings with people, and the first thing they ask me now is, "What's your Instagram handle?" Nobody even asks me if I have a website. It's kind of a really crazy concept to me because
yeah.
I'm still trying to understand it and get used to it. But having both is really important, I think, just because my Instagram doesn't say anything about me or who I am, where my
Yeah,
website does. So, but people, they love looking at that Instagram,
I
looking
know.
at your continuity and all the pictures and what you're doing, and now there's the whole live, and people just love that. They want to see if you're busy and what you're doing at all times,
I know,
and
definitely.
showcase your work. Yeah.
Yeah, because as in a photography setting, I know that for me, it's helped tremendously when approaching models or potential clients to show them a website because
Right.
I guess every photographer has an Instagram or everybody thinks they're a photographer, but
Yes.
it kind of sets you apart. I think that
Yeah.
styling hair is one of those things that it doesn't matter if you have a camera to take a picture of hair. It's the talent that you're putting in with your hands, the
Yes.
work. That that definitely is seen through photos. But
Yeah.
I know that I've been able to work with a lot more models and even had a lot more weddings because of my website. People tend to
Mhm.
take at least me more seriously because they think, well,
Yes.
okay, this guy has an official place where he showcases his work.
Right. Yeah, I feel for us it's kind of gone backwards, which is strange. But at the same time, it's kind of incredible for us.
Hmm.
Um, I feel Instagram has also been a huge supporting network team for just hair in general.
Yeah,
I think I think too, it also gives any kind of person, whether it's a bride or whoever it is, they have the ability to go and look at us on Instagram and what we're doing and see if they feel a connection even, or if anything on there looks appealing to them, and those kind of things, where our website, it can do it, but I think in general as people we're a little bit more open on our Instagram, and we show a little bit of just what we're doing on a regular basis,
yeah.
and maybe people feel a bit more of a connection.
So then with that, with hairstylists, do you notice more stylists in the hairstyling world having uh like professional Instagram pages, or does it really
Yes.
matter?
Yes, and a lot of them don't have websites.
Hmm.
Like Instagram is their website, I guess. So, I've also found a lot of hairs. I mean, I love looking at other hairstylists and their work as inspiration. And I love, you know, I'll comment on there too, like, I love your work, and they respond back, and they can be in New York or in Texas
Yeah.
or in Long Beach, but in other countries, it's kind of nice, um, just seeing that people can connect that way too. And a lot of people are very supportive of each other, which I think is amazing. Because sometimes it's not always like that.
Yeah. The photography community is very similar in that sense. There's a lot of
Uh-huh.
photographers that I follow that don't necessarily do weddings or engagements. They're more landscape photographers, and they'll do like
Right.
uh, travel videos and things like that. But I find that to be really inspirational, and I try to incorporate some of that editing style with my work. So
Exactly.
with
Yeah, and we just like take little bits from other people and kind of make it our own and get
yeah,
inspired by things too.
and so with Instagram being sort of at the forefront for putting a lot of cosmetology work out there for people to see, how important are lookbooks, like an actual physical lookbook?
So I used to make one a long time ago, and I haven't done one in a while, which I think it's just because of Instagram being such a huge thing
Mm-hmm.
that you can just say, everybody has their phone at all times.
Yeah,
You just say, oh, here's my Instagram name, and they're on there in 2 seconds, already following you, looking at everything, going, oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. When did you do this? And it's kind of crazy to me. I'm actually going to be doing a bridal show next weekend.
mm-hmm.
And it's funny you say that because I've been debating in my head, do a lot of people will print pictures, put them in pretty frames, and have them out on their table.
Yeah,
My thought process was I wanted to do that. And then my teenager brought the idea up, make a slideshow and bring the iPad.
yeah,
Then I can have everything on there and it can maybe engage people a little more. Maybe they'll stick around to see the next photo or, what's going to come up. So I think that might be the route I'm going to go, but I've never tried it that way.
yeah. And I know that print has sort of kind of gone to the wayside. Um, I know that when I've had meetings with clients, I've taken my iPad and I'll show them. I'll swipe through a couple photos or show them
Right.
some videos of like behind the scenes things that I've captured to kind of show my workflow.
Right.
So yeah, lookbooks they're just gone for now, I guess.
I think so. I found my first one I had and I kind of laughed and went, wow, this feels like an eternity ago. But I still have it, just in case. You never know. And I have all the digitals that if I want to add to it, I definitely can. But yeah, with technology, Instagram, and now you can download apps and just make a portfolio basically on the iPad and just let it run.
Yeah. So
So
then with that, building your portfolio on Instagram, um, do you find that, or do you typically request uh, photos from the photographer, or do you ask for photos from the bride, or do you just post photos that you take with your cell phone on the day? How do you, or how would you recommend cosmetologists out there who might be starting out to build their profiles?
that one is still a hard one for me. So I'm very particular that when I'm doing a wedding, I don't really like taking pictures on my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I like I like the photographs that you guys take. They look so much cleaner, obviously, and just everything looks so much better, and it captures everything as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very hard to get those. Sometimes I'll ask the photographers if I established a relationship with them, and I met them and introduced myself completely. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll go that route. Most of the time I do ask the bride, which is kind of hard
Yeah.
because they gotta take the time and go through probably everything you sent them and what would which pictures would I actually like, and that one is still a hard one. Sometimes when I do photo shoots too, I can work with some photographers, they'll send them to me within days, and then other ones, I mean months. I have stuff that I've done 6 months ago, and then I go, wait a minute, I never got those.
Yeah.
So everybody's different. Um, I definitely would say just kind of if you can build a relationship with people, photographers or your bride, whoever you feel most comfortable with, and
Mm-hmm.
just ask them politely. They usually send it.
Yeah.
It just takes time. So you have to have patience.
And I definitely got off that. I think I got onto that early. I
Uh-huh.
figured that when I was coming into this as the photographer, um, that I would try to do as much as I can for everybody who's there.
Right.
So throughout my day, I'll take pictures of the bride and I'll try to get hair shots where it's, the bride is probably not going to want this shot. Maybe she will,
Right.
but it's specifically of the hair, specifics of the makeup or the setup, or even the makeup artist doing the makeup, so that
Exactly.
everybody has pictures to show. Because even as a photographer, just the fact that your work is getting out there in as many ways as possible is a
Right.
beneficial thing.
Right. I have actually met some people that they make the bride sign a contract saying, or you guys saying that you will tag them if you post on social media, which I think is a little crazy, but
I take it on
yeah,
faith. Like, I take it on good
yeah,
faith.
right.
If you're gonna tag me, then you'll tag me,
Yeah,
because I think it was like somebody told me once, if you do good work, one person might tell somebody, but if you do bad work, then they'll tell 10 people.
everybody. Yep.
So I have to take it on faith that hopefully I did a good enough job that somebody's gonna ask them, "Hey, who took that photo?" And then they'll say
Yes.
it.
Yes, I definitely, if I post stuff on social media and I know who the photographer was or who did the makeup or whatever it is in that picture, I definitely tag everybody because I feel that no matter what, everybody should get the credit if I especially know who they are, you
Yeah.
know, and we should all collectively be networking with each other. I mean, why not? We're a small community, but large at the same time.
Hmm.
But you always cross paths with a lot of the same people in the end.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I always tag people just because I feel like I should. It's kind of my duty, I feel. And I would hope that they would do the same. Like you said, good faith.
Yeah. And so sort of like a an off question, but kind of related is I know as a photographer, when I do provide photos to people, even if they don't tag me or whatever, I can understand. But if they alter these photos, like say change the colors or apply an Instagram filter to some of
Oh
these photos that
gosh.
I've taken my time
Yeah.
to edit, it's kind of a little pet peeve. And they'll tag me in it as if it's my photo or as if it's my work. Um, has that ever happened to you, or has anybody ever changed the look of the hair enough and tagged you to where you felt that's not an accurate representation of my work?
Um, Sometimes a certain angle and I go, "Oh, I don't like that picture." But no, I've never really had anybody do that. That is a definite no-no on your part though. People I can I understand that and I would never change a filter or add one to a photographer's picture. That's just I know a definite no-no. So, no, I've never really had that with hair though.
Okay. So then here we go. I did send out a couple ask me anything questions on my
Uh-huh.
Instagram. I got two. Not gonna
Okay.
lie. I got two. And they're both G rated, so
Perfect. I can handle that.
so the first one, the person wanted to remain anonymous.
Sure.
And they said, is I don't know if they really know this or not, but is it customary to wash your hair before going to a salon, or is it like a dentist office where you pay them to clean your teeth, so why do it beforehand?
So it depends what you're getting done. And I would say it definitely depends how dirty your hair is.
I imagine
So
nobody's going in with like they just like played in the mud, get their
you'd be
haircut.
surprised. But it depends. If you're coming in for a just like you want your hair styled for, you're going out for the night.
Yeah.
Um, it depends on your hair. Some people they get greasy very fast, and some people their hair is very dry. Mine's very dry, so I could probably go a few days without washing my hair,
Hmm.
which nobody would even know. So it really just depends. If you're going in to get your hair colored or highlighted, your hair could be as dirty as you want. It doesn't even matter because we're all going to wash it in the end.
Yeah.
So I would say it just depends. Everybody's their own, I guess. You could tell your own hair. If your hair is shiny, wash it.
Yeah.
If it's not shiny, you're fine. Have at it.
And to the anonymous person who asked this question, just be clean when you're going out. Like
Yeah,
that
I
should be an
think,
easy question to answer.
well, dry shampoo has really come in as a huge thing, which I love me some dry shampoo, but there's a point where no more dry shampoo. You gotta wash that hair, you know? So
You can only
I'm
roll the
sure
dice so long, and then
every female knows exactly what I'm talking about. So
yeah, here I have no hair, so dry
yeah,
shampoo. I have no idea what you're talking about, but
they'll know. They'll definitely know.
and then the other one is actually a science question. It's unrelated to hair at all, but this person felt that you may be able to provide answers to this question.
All right.
Are you a flat earther? Do you
A
believe the
what?
earth is flat? I mean, you could be real. You can
No.
be real for all 5 people listening right now.
I mean, no.
Earth is round. There we have
Yeah,
it. End of
yeah,
story.
yep.
All right, Liliana. Well, I want to thank you for coming onto the podcast. Again, I am Ramon, and I was here with Liliana, and we were talking about hair, weddings, photography, just a little bit of everything. So
Yeah.
thank you again.
Thank you for having me.